Hello there and welcome along. Now this particular video has the potential to go really wrong. In front of me is my Dahlia imperialis, known as the tree dahlia. This particular one grows from a tuber much the same as any other dahlia, but much larger, often reaching between 8 and 14 feet tall. This particular plant, as you can see, produces stems as thick as your arm. It's absolutely huge. Unfortunately, it takes ages to actually reach flowering size, and often here in the UK gets mown down by the first frost just before it actually reaches flowering. In the 5 years I've had this particular plant, I've managed to see it flower for around 2 or 3 days, and last year that was just 1 day. This particular tube has now been in the ground for far too long and needs to be dug up and really be spit out. I'm going to be really brave here, and I'm going to start peeling back the mulch that's been sleeping underneath, and I'm going to start to try and dig it up and see what we find underneath. The tubers on this are going to be really large, something very much like a yam or a sweet potato. I'm expecting them to be at least a foot long and maybe up to around 9 inches in diameter. So I'm going to start peeling back the mulch and we'll see where we end up. Now this particular tuber has been in the ground for some time, and I've mulched over it several times before. So I need to start peeling back what I've mulched it over with over the autumn and winter. Very carefully, I'm simply going to lift the mulch away with my little trowel here, being really careful just in case it has started to wake up. I'm not seeing any signs of growth just now, so I'm just going to peel back the mulch before I start thinking about getting a larger spade in here and taking away some of this compost and soil to see whether I can actually find the tuber itself. As you can see, I've exposed the very beginning part of the tuber here, around 6 inches away from the actual crown. You can see this one is stretching out at least a foot in length. So I'm going to keep digging and pulling away and seeing what else I can find under here. Now, I think as I get older, I'm never afraid to admit defeat, and I think the Dahlia imperialis can actually stay in the ground. It's come up successfully, overwintered in the ground for the last 4 years and consecutively, and just look at the size of these tubers. I still haven't finished completely unearthing an awful lot of them. I think this is only about 5 or 10% of it, but you can see, look at the size of these tubers. So I think I'm just going to simply leave it in the ground and see what comes up, and maybe take some cuttings from it. But that is absolutely enormous. The hole that I've actually hollowed out at the moment, probably, look, I'll lay the spade across it so you can see the size of it. I've hollowed out about the width or the length of a spade shaft there. Not particularly deep, I'm only around sort of 9 to 10 inches deep in the soil, but you can see the size of those tubers are absolutely enormous. As I said in the previous section, almost the size of a sweet potato, but extending up to at least a foot long. Look at the length of that, look. So I think Dahlia imperialis can actually stay in the ground for a little bit longer.